We'd like to focus on that aspect of this Cleveland clinic. And to do so, I'm very fortunate to have a very good friend who's willing to speak openly about being a caregiver for her mother for many years who was struck by Alzheimer's. We are hoping that hearing her story and discovering the services available here and other facilities, you will know you're not alone. Norma Jean Swensk, or Jeannie as she is more commonly known, loved life and loved living in Las Vegas near her daughter Sherry and grandson Ethan. But in her mid-70s, she was becoming unsteady on her feet, so Sherry moved her into a casita outside her own home just to be safe. It was while packing her up for that move, something happened that struck Sherry as very odd.
I happened to find an old panoramic photograph from my senior high school year. And I unfurled it and I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, look, it's my senior picture from high school. Look at all of my classmates. And she got all excited and she looked over my shoulder and she goes, oh, that's so fun. Where am I? And I said, what?
That was the first indication that something was wrong. It wasn't the last. In fact, Jeannie began showing signs of confusion and unsteadiness more and more as time went by.
She was falling a lot. She was talking about hearing voices and seeing people in the courtyard outside of her casita. The doorbell was ringing all hours of the day. The doorbell didn't ring into her casita. And I was finding bills that weren't getting paid. She was mixing up her medication.
Sherry didn't want to believe her mom might be seriously ill, but she knew the next step had to be a trip to the Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health, where Jeannie was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia, the second most common form of Alzheimer's disease. Sherry knew this journey would eventually lead to her mother's passing. What she didn't realize was how difficult the journey would be.
Morning, Mother Nature giving us beautiful skies this morning, and it looks like she might be giving us some rain.
With a career that requires her to be up and at work basically in the middle of the night, as the weather anchor of Channel 8's morning show Good Day, she already has a pretty grueling schedule. There's reporting and public appearances that go along with that. And her son Ethan was only 8 years old when this all started. She said trying to balance it all became overwhelming.
I was calling a friend who owned a caregiving service. And I was, Kathy, you got to help me. I can't watch her all night because I got to get up at 2:30 in the morning. And I can't be over there all evening because I've got to be helping my son with homework. And I've got to fix dinner. But she's got to eat. And I got to get her to the bathroom. And then what happens when I've got to change her bedding and her clothes, but I've got to be back over at the house because, I was a hamster on a wheel.
She knows being a caregiver to anyone with any debilitating disease can be exhausting. But caring for an Alzheimer's patient has its own unique challenges best understood by others in the same arena.
Caregivers got to be able to vent, and a caregiver feels guilty because sometimes you get angry at that person for taking all your time and your energy, and you love that person, but oh my gosh, this was never supposed to happen, and now you've affected my life. And it's not just your life, it's my life, my family's life, and I love you, and why are you doing this to me? And you should be able to feel all those feelings and share those feelings with somebody who identifies.
Providing that kind of support is a specialty here at the Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health. In fact, the staff here will tell you treating caregivers is as important as treating the patients.
And the hard truth of this illness is that the caregivers are going to be the survivors, and we need to help them think about their lives like that so that they don't become so consumed with caregiving that they suddenly are disconnected from their friends, from their family, from the things that are important to them, because when their person's gone and the person's died, or they go to a facility and the person is saying, what do I do now with my time? when they're in that emotionally hard place, we want them to have easy access to those supports. We have quite a wide range of support groups here, and some are with the person with the illness and with the caregivers. And those can be really crucial. We sometimes get people who come for a couple of times and then they're done, and other people again who are regulars. But I think those, I see all the time the impact of people coming and realizing they're not alone.
Support groups and counseling are both helpful to the patient and their loved ones during all stages of the disease. They can even help come up with ways to rethink routines, such as how to handle the holidays.
Especially if you're the person who has always cooked the meals, hosted the meals, done the presents, like you're the person who does all that. Whether you're the caregiver or the person with the illness, you may need your family or your friends to step up or to not expect the same things of you.
Ruth has many stories of how the support groups here have helped people, particularly those who feel isolated by what they're going through.
People are afraid they're going to lose people, and that happens. But I also had a woman say one time, we couldn't believe the numbers of friends that we lost, but the beautiful people that have come into our lives since this experience has been amazing.
Sherry believes such an organized support group would have helped her and her son Ethan deal with the changes in his Nana.
He knew how important it was just for her to see him, and it made her smile. But there were some days, truly, it was really hard for him. And he vacillated, and he didn't necessarily grow with her journey the way I'd hoped he would, but you can't hold it against anybody because it's so scary.
But she says she has few regrets. She did what she felt was best every step of the way and is thankful in the process she learned to look for joyful moments, just like Jeannie always did.
She looked for joy in every single day, whether she had a cupcake for dessert. It was whether they were going to have a Frank Sinatra impersonator and she was singing, or looking forward to a church service, whatever. It's just whatever made her happy at that moment in that day. That's what we looked forward to. And I was grateful for every moment.
Jeannie Swensk died March 20th of 2017, surrounded by loved ones. You might think that Sherry might want to just step away from all of this, but not my friend Sherry. She's on the board of the Alzheimer's Association and has recently been trained to lead her own support group at Avenir Memory Care, all volunteer work. If you'd like more information, here's where you can go. You can go to alz.org for more information on support groups and Alzheimer's in general. And of course, take advantage of the fact that we have the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic in our midst. If you want more information on social services here, call 702-483-6000 or go to keepmemoryalive.org.